with a record of 6 wins and 2 losses. And ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for just a moment, please. Recently, the Tropics soccer family suffered a great loss with the passing of Hunter Lucier. Hunter served several seasons as the club's assistant general manager, often handling the many underappreciated duties behind the scenes and on game days. His love of life, his jovial smile, his wry humor, and his passion for sports, especially all things Tropics and Alabama Crimson Tide, will always be in our hearts. Hunter Lucier, always loved, never forgotten. At this time, we ask for a moment of silent prayer and reflection in his honor and memory. Thank you. And now let's play ball. Here is tonight's dress list for both teams. For the Tropics, wearing number 6, Wendell Albuquerque. Number 19, Roque Villegas. Number 7, Melvin Boateng. Number 11, Ricardo Carvalho. Number 5, Pedro Ivo Diaz. Number 8, Kevin Duque. Number 2, Pablo Arias. Number 17, Bruno Enrique. Number 12, Antonio Manfoot. Number 14, Corey Mills. Number 3, Lucas Manolares. Number 0, goalkeeper George Navarrete. Number 10, Victor Pereras. Number 13, Anthony Santabanez. Number 18, Guillerme. Starting goalkeeper tonight for the Tropics, number 1, Hugo Silva. Number 23, Alexandre Teixeira. And number 4, Glauco Trejano. The dress list tonight for St. Petersburg, number 3, Armin Barak. Number 13, Kyle Carr. The goalkeeper, Martin Gaganov. Number 18, Nick Getter. Number 22, Caleb George. Number 28, Timothy Cole. Number 9 is Hale Lombard. Number 10, Trevor McCarron. Royce Pope. Number 17, Paul Rennis. Number 11, Pierre Robinson. Number 8, Gregory Sasser. Number 6, Ryan Stack. Sean Sullivan. John Tishner. Also number 7, Javier Todd. And number 5, Jaden Walsh. And good evening, Tropics fans. Welcome to the broadcast this evening as the Florida Tropics are just underway here against the St. Petersburg Aztecs, traditionally one of the better UPSL teams in the Central and West Florida area. And they come in tonight with a record of 4-3, as you may have heard. The Tropics coming in right now, standing in second place at 6-2, trailing Dragon City FC atop the table in that UPSL Florida West division. The Tropics coming off a disappointing 2-1 loss to Dragon City last weekend, which kind of dashed the Tropics' regular season title hopes, but the playoffs loom here in another month or so, and a chance for perhaps redemption if those two teams should meet for a third time to determine the Florida West division winner. The Tropics really needed to win that game last week. They still would have trailed Dragon City in the standings, but only by a point. And the Tropics would have, in fact, had a game in hand. And had they won that one, it certainly would have allowed the Tropics to set their sights on that top spot in the division. But as it goes, right now it's time to concentrate on hanging on for second place. And as we said, St. Petersburg at 4-3, a formidable foe here tonight at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. Final regular season home game for the Tropics is tonight. Nice Christmas theme here. Had some nice Christmas vendors on hand before the game, including Santa Claus, I understand. Didn't get a chance to go down and see old St. Nick and put in a wish or two, but nice that he was able to make his way down. I know he was up at the Sun and Fun holiday event at midday in Lakeland this afternoon, so he took a little time out to stop down here in Auburndale as well. And I know the fans got a chance to visit and play some holiday games and have some holiday cheer, which is always a good thing here in 2020, which has been not as much to cheer about as we would like. But the Tropics, of course, at 6-2, have given us plenty of moments to cheer, and perhaps tonight they will do the same as they counter down the left side. Enrique with the crossover to Pereira. He tries the kick and a goal! Sidewinder by Pereira, and he bounces it in. And at the 5-minute mark of the first period, the Tropics have taken a 1-0 lead. Pretty set up by Enrique. And Pereira unmarked on the far post. And apparently they're going to wave that off. Apparently was offside, so did not see that the flag was up, but that was apparently the case, so the Tropics and Aztecs will remain scoreless here. Well, it was a pretty nice effort. By Pereira nonetheless, but for nothing as it turns out. Pereira's with it, gets it back. On the defense end is Trajano, who is making a start here tonight. No Andrew Player in the lineup. Long ball down the right side again. Another chance in front. Ricardo Carvalho, who's been very hot lately on the outdoor side, couldn't quite corral that one in front. Carvalho with 4 goals in the Tropics' last 3 games. He's also the subject of this week's Tropics Weekly on the Tropics Facebook page, so you get a chance to check that out. Nice player interview with Ricardo Carvalho, who is tuning up now for the indoor season as well. But the Tropics MASL Stars out here tonight to play, as they have been all season, headed by Pereira's second-team All-MASL selection last year, and Hugo Silva in goal, who's down there trying to keep a little warm. It's not that chilly, but by Florida standards, it's a coat or sweatshirt night here at Lake Myrtle, probably in the mid-60s, I'm going to guess, but no breeze, so a very comfortable evening to be outside and enjoy Tropics soccer. Last chance, at least during the regular season, to enjoy the outdoor side. The indoor guys will be cranking it up. Training camp actually has kind of begun. They have reported for all their medical testing and evaluations and meetings, and they will really start in earnest Monday with 2-a-day training sessions, morning conditioning work for a couple of hours, and then on the floor at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland for a couple hours every evening during the week for the next month or so in anticipation of their 5th season in the MASL. Another counter here for the Tropics. They have had most of the play so far as Enrique didn't have room to cross there, played it back. Tropics will control it. Pedro Ivo Diaz with it, leaves it up to Corey Mills, who's been a nice offensive spark this year. Here's Pereiras with it. Pereiras gets it to Carvalho. Tries a little give and go with Pereiras. Couldn't quite get that through, but Guilherme recovers. Now Ivo Diaz. Little back heel attempt by Pereiras as Ivo Diaz was making a run, and again, Pedro just not quite able to make that connection. Good ideas. The Tropics show some creative, aggressive attack here in the first. Here's Enrique again with it. Enrique pushes it wide, does cross, and there's a save. Enrique got some pretty good mustard on that one, but the Ganilov was able to make the save. Put an extra G in there. Sorry about that, Martin. Tropics will continue to control here. Scoreless as the Victor Pereiras goal was waved off. And that would have been maybe the prettiest goal of the year. And right up there with one that Ricardo Carvalho scored a couple of weeks ago. Kind of a bicycle kick finish for Ricardo to cash one in. Here's Pereiras with it again. Pushes it towards the middle, leaves it to Carvalho. Trying to find Kewin Duque, but that never got through. So yeah, it's kind of a fun time for Tropics fans with the outdoor team winding down its regular season. The playoffs will begin in January. The Florida West champions will take on the Florida Central champions on January 31st. We know the game date for that one. We don't know the teams that will be in it. And then the national championships will be held in Atlanta in early March. First weekend in March. I believe it's March 5th and 7th at Silverbacks Stadium in Atlanta. UPSL announcing that just in the last week or two. Of course, it's been a crazy fall. 4 teams actually of the 16 in the round of 16 have already earned their way in. 12 more to be decided, including all the Florida teams. You can check out the latest at upsl.com, or always, of course, check things out at fltropics.com, where you'll get all the updated information on the outdoor side and the Major Arena Soccer League side. Tropics will begin defense of an Eastern Conference Championship in January, their 5th season in the MASL. And to answer one big question that we've been hearing a lot from Tropics fans, yes, indeed, the RP Funding Center will be open to fans to attend Tropics games. Here, Carvalho breaking through. Flag is down. Carvalho with a shot. Good save. Pereiras going to collect the rebound. Pereiras with a shot. And he just misses. Might have just glanced off the post. Not sure. But again, a couple of good chances for the Tropics MASL stars, Ricardo Carvalho and Victor Pereiras. Ganilov made a good stop on Carvalho from kind of a tough angle, and Victor did not have a much better angle himself, but almost curled it in the far side. So goal kick coming up, scoreless, 13 minutes into the first half here. Nice holiday crowd here tonight at Lake Myrtle. Saw a few Christmas light necklaces in the crowd, and even a few Christmas lights along the stands on the far sidelines tonight to give us a little bit of a festive feel. Pereiras again pushing forward. Takes a long shot, might have banged off his own man Carvalho in front. One of the rare counter moments here for St. Petersburg, but quickly taken away by Trejan. And now controlled on the backside by the captain, Lucas Manoleras. Trajano back there with Monolaris. And of course, Hugo Silva, who is the MASL's leading goalkeeper last year in terms of goals against, allowing just 4.14 goals a game, which is pretty tremendous for indoor soccer. Not like outdoor soccer in the fact that 10 or 15 goals a game, not uncommon in the indoor side. Lots of action, lots of goals. Still can't use your hands like the outdoor game, but the similarities sometimes end there. It can be a lot of fun, pretty crazy, and enjoyable. There's a long ball into the box. Carvalho could not catch up. Ferrer's going to pressure here a little. Chance to break out here for St. Petersburg, but cannot control it on the near sideline here. Bryce Pope was the midfielder who tried to keep that counter alive for St. Petersburg, but could not do it. Bruno with it again. He's been effective on that far side, but finally has it taken away. Of course, some very exciting news this week for the Tropics as they announced the signing of a true superstar of the MASL, Ian Bennett, who will be coming down from the Milwaukee area to play for the Tropics this year. Still owned, the rights to Bennett will still be owned by Milwaukee, but with the COVID outbreak at a really spectacular level in Wisconsin right now, in many places in the country, and certainly in the upper Midwest and Northern Plains states particularly. The Wave have already announced that they will not be fielding a team this year. So Ian Bennett will bring his talents south to the Tropics. I believe in his MASL indoor career, he's got 381 goals. So a treat for Tropics fans this winter to get a chance to see Ian Bennett play. But he's just one of many stars on this Tropics roster that went 18-3 and earned the Eastern Conference MASL championship last year. Of course, the season was canceled with 3 games left to go in the regular season, and there were no playoffs because of the coronavirus outbreak, but the 2021 season will commence in January with 11 teams. 6 teams sitting out this year. Rochester will play, Utica, Baltimore, and Harrisburg, along with the Tropics. St. Louis, Kansas City, Dallas, San Diego, Tacoma, and Ontario, California will all play. The California teams are likely to actually play all their games on the road. So we don't know exactly how many Tropics games will actually be played this season. They are anticipating a full slate of 12 home games, but may only play 6 or 8 times on the road. We'll have to see how that works out. Silva tries to find Pereiras on the clear, but that's intercepted. Pope coming back now for St. Petersburg. There's a cross in front. Better try in there by Ryan Stack, and he just missed it. Stack with the pressure on the far side, but Silva will control now for Florida. Expect within the next week or so to have a January schedule out for the indoor Tropics. You can appreciate how fluid a situation it is with a national league and trying to figure out travel schedules and arena dates and what you can and can't do based on local and state restrictions. just you can travel someplace. That not isn't necessarily the issue, but if you have quarantine requirements, then when you come home, makes it a much more difficult circumstance to actually put a schedule together. So what the MASL is doing this year is you have to play a minimum of 12 games, a maximum of 24, and then the playoff seedings at that point in the middle of April when the regular season comes to a close will be based on winning percentage of all the teams. Tropics will have pretty much their entire roster back from that Eastern Conference team. They finished the year at least. Top 7 scorers all coming back. That list headed by Carvalho with his 23 goals and career-high 23 assists last year. Corey Mills with it, who's got 4 goals this year for the Tropics outside. Doesn't play indoors, at least in game action. Will practice some and really does a lot in terms of conditioning and strength work. Really did a great job last year and kind of a unsung hero, certainly in the team's success. Pereiras with it. 21st minute here at Lake Murdo. Pereiras with a cross in front. Duque trying to track it down. That one caught a piece of the official. And he'll blow his whistle and apparently take a little pity there on the Aztecs. Tropics were scheduled to play a dozen UPSL regular season games. They'll get most of them in, it looks like. These two teams will actually play again Thursday in St. Petersburg. That game was originally scheduled for November 7th and had to be postponed. So the makeup date has been set now for next Thursday in St. Petersburg. There is no makeup date yet, and perhaps not likely to be one as Carvalho breaks in. Carvalho with a shot! And did they call offsides? I believe they may have. Or was it yeah, it must have been offsides because they're going to give a goal kick here as Kaganilov made another good save on Carvalho, but Ricardo just maybe a half step too quick there. So the Tropics and Aztecs will renew this rivalry Thursday in St. Petersburg, and then the Tropics will finish the regular season on the road December 19th against the Sporting Tampa Bay club. That would leave one game that was postponed, not made up. That was the home game here against Hurricane FC. Nice ball through to Enrique, but goalkeeper will come out this time. Good read there by the Aztecs netminder to break up that chance. Hurricane FC and the Tropics played for about 20 minutes here back in October before an absolute monsoon rolled into the Auburndale area and caused the postponement of that one. And haven't been able to really find a suitable makeup date between the two sides, and pretty unlikely that it would have any real playoff or postseason implications, so wouldn't be surprised that one just goes by the boards and the Tropics end up with just 11 regular season games. Pereira sticks a foot in there, but Pope gets it ahead of the field. Good counter chance here for the Aztecs. Ball in front, but well played by Lucas Monolaris. Clears it out from out of the Tropics goal area right to Victor Pereiras. We got a nice group of fans up on the hillside behind the Tropics goal tonight. Cleared out of there by Pedro Ivo Diaz. Good midfield effort coming back to help defensively there. Duque with it now. Kaylin Duque's got 5 goals this year for the Tropics, who have had a very, very diverse offensive attack this year, which has been kind of nice. As we mentioned, Carvalho, Duque, Carreras, Albuquerque, Carvalho, all with 4 or 5 goals each. Teixeira, I think, is in that group as well. There's a guy that can score them indoors for sure. Guillerme, number 18, just throwing it into play. Got one of the best left foot finishing shots in the entire league. Saw that to the tune of 15 goals last year for Guillerme, who actually came his first year and played as defense. So his work on the back line is not a surprise. Here's Carreras. Carreras again with a cross and a header by Enrique that time, who was also on that goal scoring list. In fact, had a hat trick here a few weeks ago in a lopsided win over Sporting Tampa Bay. '26th minute here at Lake Myrtle, still scoreless. 1 goal at the 5-minute mark by Victor Carreras on a great individual effort on a feed from Ricardo Carvalho, was waved off. Beg your pardon. Chance in front, but that skitters through the box. Nobody there for St. Petersburg. Enrique leaves it for Arias. And Pablo will get the throw in here. I think it's going to be Pablo. It will be. Trajano with it. Surveys the landscape downfield and decides to reverse course here and get it over to the captain, Lucas Monaleras. Monaleras, one of just 4 original Tropics players left from that 2016-17 season. Nice long ball to Enrique. Enrique, some nice footwork in the box, and he'll get a corner kick. Might be the first one of the night for the Tropics. And Victor Carreras will take it. One of the reasons nice to have Victor back in the lineup. He is so good on corner kicks and particularly set pieces or restart kicks, free kicks in the field. So the Tropics will push most of their big men forward, including Lucas Monaleras as it comes into the box. There's a header to go! I think that might have been Trajano who got it. So Trajano gets his first of the year. Rossetti has not seen a ton of playing time. But is able to get just enough of the head on it to redirect it in for the Tropics' first of the night. And this one will stand. And of course the assist to Pereiras on the corner kick. Kind of a low liner, not the kind of high bending floaters that you often see. Can't tell you if that was intentional or not. Victor will probably tell you it was. And it couldn't very well have been. A lot of traffic on the short side there. And Trujano, who's pretty good size, was able to use that to his advantage. Probably not quite as tall as Andrew Clare, but in a similar kind of vein. Andrew is one who always pushes forwards on the corner kick opportunities as well because of his size. There's Trujano with it now, the goal scorer. Over to Guillerme. 30th minute here. And the Tropics have a 1-0 lead. Victor, in the middle of the field. On the right side to Bruno. Enrique tried to get it through to Carvalho, who's had a couple of near misses tonight. Enrique with it again. Pushes it to the top of the box, has it knocked away. Counter opportunity here for the Aztecs. And Trujano not able to make the defensive play here. Here's a Pope with a chance. Pope being pushed to the outside. Oh, and there's a nice defensive recovery for Guillerme. Very, very nice defensive play by, just talked about the fact he actually played defense his entire first season in the MASL before being kind of discovered the start of the second season, moved up to a forward line because the Tropics had so many injuries in that season, and what a find he was offensively, but Guillerme showing his defensive prowess right there. Nice, calm, and collected play, and by far St. Petersburg's best, most organized scoring chance. But Pope just could not quite pull the trigger. Maybe tried to get a little too perfect, and Guillerme and a couple of his teammates were able to slide in there and make the play. Manolares and Trujano doing a little back and forth here. Now Pereiras will try and begin the counter. Long ball in for Carvalho. Carvalho is offsides again. One of these times that's going to work. Not till halftime. 33rd minute. Of course, I'd like to give many thanks to our friends at Devoted Health. You can check out their health plans at devoted.com. All they do is Medicare Advantage health plans. So if you're in the market for Medicare Advantage plans, please go to devoted.com. They are the experts because that's all they do. Silva able to jump up and get that attempt. Sponsoring the Christmas Village here tonight with the Tropics and many fans coming out for a little holiday cheer. Of course, many thanks to Bond Clinic, as always, and for the 5th consecutive year now, the presenting and title sponsor of Tropics Soccer, both indoors and out. Pelly Sports. And check out their website as well. They've got a lot of tremendous and nicely priced, by the way, Tropics gear. If you're looking for the local soccer fan and a gift perhaps for the holiday season, would check out Pelly Sports their selection of t-shirts and hats, and as I said, very, very reasonably priced as well, which is very refreshing. Second year now for Capelli Sport as the official uniform supplier of the Tropics. And lots of other local businesses as well invested in the success of the franchise, along with many others. A chance in front, and Duque is robbed there. Boy, Kenwin Duque bidding for his 6th goal of the year, and we'll be thinking about that one for a while. Best save of the night by Big Analog. It'll be another corner here for the Tropics. This one from the left corner as we wait for the ball to come down off the hill. Victor Ferreras will snag it. 35th minute here now at Lake Myrtle. CPS Investment Advisors, big-time Tropics sponsor. We appreciate them. Winghouse Bar and Grill, Southern Homes, Residential Roofing Depot, Stumpy's Marketing Group, Teriyaki Madness, Ink Screen Printing, our good friends up at United Refrigeration and Air Conditioning on Wrecker Highway in kind of Winter Haven, Auburndale-ish area, Dixie Signs, and the Brooks Law Group, who I saw the Saturday before Thanksgiving doing their annual great work with giving away hundreds and hundreds of free turkeys. Happened to drive by Steve's office that morning on First Street in Winter Haven, and they were literally lined up around the block. Here's Enrique, and that shot gets blocked, and I know Steve and his crew have done that for a number of years now, and it's a great Thanksgiving tradition for the Brooks Law Group. I thought there was some kind of concert or something going on. There were so many people there. It took me a minute to realize that it was their fantastic community generosity at work. Ferreras with a higher cross this time, punched out of there. Tropics will control it though. There's a shot, and that one skitters high and wide. 1-0 Tropics on the goal by Trajano on the corner kick by Ferreras. I think that was only the second one we just had right there. I think the Trajano goal was the first. Ferreras going to show a little pressure here. Mills going to try and track it down as well, but long ball into the box, but nobody making a run for the Aztecs. Easy play for Hugo Silva. Talking to both Hugo and Ricardo this week about newborns at their house. They're not newborns anymore. Both, I think both sons are now around 15 months of age and walking and almost talking. Doing more than walking, according to both, crawling on anything and everything. But I know Hugo and Ricardo and their wives enjoying every single minute of it. In fact, we had to wrap things up with the Ricardo interview on the Facebook page this week, and just in time to make sure he could get home to help with the noon feeding. And the real good news for both is they're sleeping much better now. Wasn't always the case, let's say, a year ago when the newborns were definitely newborns.
Yeah. What? Hey. Oh, they got full. Hey.
Mills will push it forward. Didn't have much room, so he sent it back to Trajano. Yerme will chip it towards the center circle, but only an Aztec player in all blue there. Tropics in their all home whites tonight. Have to ask in the office next week. Don't know what the Capelli indoor kits are going to look like this year. They were pretty sharp last year and like the outdoor ones this year, so I'm sure Capelli and the Tropics have worked up something good for the indoor season, which again will start in January, early January, at the RP Funding Center, and tickets will be available. Fans will be allowed to attend in January. The RP Funding Center and Tropics coming up with a seating plan that will allow about 1,500 fans or so into the building. Ball through to Enrique with the shot, and that one went wide, but that's because one of the St. Petersburg defenders got a foot on it. Duque was shaken up there a little, and he's a little slow in getting up and returning to action, but he is striding towards the goal area now, so Tropics again will send their tallest players forward. Carreras again with a rather short cross, and this one was cleared out of there rather easily this time. It was kind of a short, high corner. That one that Trajano scored on was more of a line drive. Mills comes in there, and he's going to bang that one right off the scoreboard. Careful, Corey. They're going to charge you for any bulbs that might get blown out there, but I think he's safe. Heading towards the 42nd minute now. 1-0 Tropics. Had one goal at the 5-minute mark by Carreras waved off, but then did get the first marker of the night in about the 27th minute on the Carreras corner that Trajano redirected on the short post.
You said it! You said it! You have
Couple of chances for St. Petersburg. One particularly good one about 10 minutes ago that looked like it had potential goal written all over it, but Tropics defense was able to recover, and Yerme eventually made a very nice sliding play in the box to end the threat. Mills with it at the center line now. Carreras right back to Corey. Corey with a little room to operate. They'll give it up to Duque, quickly to Ivo Diaz, but that will go out of play. Yerme with the throw in, and Carreras is not able to get there. See if Duque can control it. He does. Carvalho back to Duque. Duque trying to find some room to operate in the box, but he'll get a. Now they're going to call it a. I guess they will call it a corner or a goal kick. Guess it'll be a corner. I thought it looked like they called a goal kick there, which I was going to say didn't seem right. So Victor will take a stroll to the corner spot, as we have just a couple of minutes left now in regulation time. Can't imagine there'll be much stoppage time. Maybe a minute or two. There's been no real injuries at all here in the first half. Enrique tried to get the header there, but wasn't able to quite get the right angle, and it will end up being a goal kick now for Sarasota. Perhaps the last chance here for St. Petersburg to get an equalizer. Carvalho, though, quickly intercepts. Carvalho Fights through several Aztecs players before finally losing it. So St. Petersburg will try one more counter here. Pressure in there by Trejano, and he does a nice job using his body as a shield to get it to Silva and right back to Trejano. Trejano with a nice move to create an open space for himself. Down to about 30 seconds of regulation time left. Tropics want to be careful here. Go into the locker room with at least a 1-goal lead. Not going to be a lot of extra time here to get a second one, but maybe one chance to push forward. Guillerme gets it over to Pereiras. Pereiras to Carvalho. Carvalho. Ivo Diaz with it. Carvalho. Pereiras snuck in behind the defense there, but lost it at the last second. And it'll be a, not sure if it'll be a throw-in or a corner. It went out very close to the corner flag. It may be a throw-in. We'll see. So we are in stoppage time here. I think it's going to be a corner, but might still be deciding that. Let's see here. Yep, Pereiras will put it down, so it'll be a corner, which is much better than a throw-in. Again, a low one. I don't think Victor struck that one the way he wanted, and it's knocked back away, but that is going to be the end of the half. There was literally about 30 seconds of stoppage time, and that's all. So the only goal of the first 45 minutes off the foot of Trejano, and the Tropics have a 1-0 lead at intermission. We'll step aside for a few minutes, let everyone catch their breath, maybe get a refreshment or two, and then we will be back with second half action in just a few minutes here at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. It's the Florida Tropics 1 and the St. Petersburg Aztecs no score. Talk to you in just a little bit. Back underway here at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex as the Tropics and St. Petersburg Aztecs kick things off to start the second half. The Tropics leading 1-0, and one of the substitutions that we see for the Tropics, Melvin Boateng just making a touch there. The only sub that I see at the moment. We'll try and look further, but I believe everyone that started is still out there, including Ricardo Carvalho and Bruno Enrique and Kewin Duque. Tropics will get a quick corner kick here. They only had a couple in the first half, but converted on one of them. That's the only goal so far by Trajano. Here's a bender in front. Enrique got a head on it, but didn't get it towards goal. Mills will control it here for Florida. Mentioned this is a UPSL Florida West Division matchup. Carvalho corrals it in front with a shot, and he hits the post, gets his own rebound, and it's blocked in front. Boy, two great opportunities for Ricardo Carvalho, and he's denied on both. One right off the post, and the second one was taken off the line by a defender. Did not catch the number there, and I apologize for that because I give credit where credit is due, but Carvalho with two tremendous opportunities to find the back of the net and denied both times, right in the opening couple of minutes here of the second half. So it stays 1-0. There's Boateng with it, and I think when I was talking about all the 4 and 5 goal scorers on the team this year, I left Melvin's name off that list. Sorry about that. Magic, he's going to give me a little what for in the office about that, I'm sure. Melvin, besides being a pretty terrific soccer player and good guy, is also responsible for all the multimedia things you see on the Tropics website and Facebook and Twitter accounts, Twitter pages. Did a very nice video of Ian Bennett and his arrival here to the Tropics indoor side, announced just yesterday. Cross in front, be careful here, and Arias was able to just direct it over the end line and not into his own goal. That was a little hair-raising moment. St. Petersburg will get a corner kick. Can't remember if they've had any tonight, if any, maybe just one, but they have been infrequent. There's the ball across and headed out of there, and Mills will push it forward and get it out of harm's way. The new guys on the block this year are doing well in the Florida West Division. In fact, it's Dragon City out of Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch area. They atop the table with an 8-0-1 record. And all but ramping up first place now with that win over the Tropics last week, 2-1 over in Lakewood Ranch. Tropics giving up the game winner on a penalty kick in the 81st minute. Alexandre Teixeira, the only goal scorer in that one. Tropics in second with a 6-2 mark. Good for 18 points. And the PSC Conquistadors, another new Tropics foe this year, new to the UPSL. 5-4. 15 points. Aztecs in fourth right now, having played just the 7 games at 4-3. Winter Haven in fifth 3-4-1, and then Hurricane FC and Sporting Tampa Bay bringing up the rear. Sporting Tampa Bay with a 1-9 mark, and the Hurricane just 0-5, having played just 5 games to date. UPSL announcing its playoff structure for the fall season. Just making that announcement a few days ago. There's Pope with the ball into the box. Silva going to come out and take it away at the last second. The brackets have been set. There's 18 different divisions spread throughout the United States. The Florida West Division winners will play on January 31st against the Florida Central Division winners, and then things will advance from there. Here's a chance. Shot, and Silva makes a nice diving save. His best moment of the night. Pope again with it, though. Pope with a shot, and Silva able to control that one. So Hugo Silva tested as the Aztecs have their best offensive thrust of the evening. Remains a 1-0 score. The Tropics, of course, the defending UPSL Spring champions in 2019. There was no Spring 2020 season. Here's Arias with a run down the right side. Pablo with it. Brings it towards the top of the box. Sends it on goal, but fairly easy save.
Oh, give it up.
So the playoffs for the fall 2020 season will come to a head and culminate in Atlanta on March 5th and 7th. The national semifinals would be March 5th, and the national championship game for the UPSL Fall 2020 crown will be held on March the 7th at Silverbacks Stadium in Atlanta. A lot of good teams in Florida, starting with Dragon City, so the Tropics would maybe like one more shot at them in the postseason if it works out that way. Lost to Dragon City 2-0 here, and then 2-1 on the road, as we said, at the end of November.
No, you don't do it.
Carvalho, who was just robbed of a goal 6 or 7 minutes ago, hit the post, and then ball came right back to him, and had a ball taken right off the line by one of the Aztec defenders. Analair steps up with a little pressure. Careful here. Here's Pope with a chance. Excellent defensive play by Arias. He got in the way of that shot. Gets a little low 5 from his goalkeeper, Hugo Silva. Might be a little extra present under the tree for Hugo, or rather for Pablo from Hugo after that effort. So folks bringing toys to the game tonight to donate to the Tropics, who will make sure they find their way to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Polk County to help families in need there. And nice holiday gesture by both the Tropics and their fans. Not unexpected. Teixeira gets it back for Mills. Arias will Leave it for the captain, Lucas Monolaris. Reverses it over. Tropics couldn't really get much push there forward, and the Aztecs finally take it away. Teixeira, though, will take a look. Gets it on the left side to Victor. Raris in front, and that's a little too far. Tracked down below by Mills. Mills to Teixeira, and another big save. Well, I guess the goaltender didn't get a piece of it after all, thoughts? Yanaloff got a piece of it, but he's come up big a couple of times tonight to keep it a 1-0 game, which is anybody's match at this point. 58th minute now. Frost in front, but Silva right there to snag that one rather easily. And not as easy as it looks, but Hugo made it look like it was no problem. Here's Teixeira, who just missed a moment or two ago. Teixeira gets it back to Corey Mills. Mills in front looking for Carvalho, and that was a little too far out in front of Ricardo, so it'll be a goal kick here for St. Petersburg. These two teams will rematch Thursday night in St. Petersburg. That is a rescheduled date. The two clubs were scheduled originally to meet on November the 7th, and that game was canceled, so the makeup date is this Thursday in St. Petersburg at 7:30. That will be the next to the last regular season game. Tropics will bring the curtain down on the regular season December 19th on the road over in the Bay Area against Sporting Tampa Bay. I believe they play out of the town and country area over there. You can check out fltropics.com and the Tropics social media sites closer to that game date for more information. They'll have the final time and location of the game where the field is that the two teams will meet. Of course, in the meantime, the indoor Tropics getting geared up for their 5th season and their season opener in early January at the RP Funding Center. And again, keep your eye at fltropics.com for schedule information as it is finalized. It's been a rather arduous process, as you can imagine, to get a schedule in place with the ever-changing COVID restrictions, both locally and on a state level and with travel. And so league and the individual teams are diligently working on that as Boateng makes a run towards the top of the box, still with it. Gets it left side to Enrique. Pushes it towards goal. Carvalho can't control it. Mills trying to track it down. Can't get there. MASL holding its All-Star game in Kansas City tonight. Kind of a preseason appetizer for fans, which will be nice. It's a pay-per-view event. You can check it out on Facebook. I believe the cost is $15, and that kickoff is soon. I believe it's a 7 o'clock Central start, 8 o'clock Eastern time, so you've got about 15 minutes. You can head to maslsoccer.com. I'm sure that will have the link and payment information. No Tropics players in that game because of the fact that the Tropics are starting their training camp, basically, have already started their training camp. And they will actually be on the floor at the RP Funding Center starting Tuesday, or actually I think it's Monday evening. Long ball into the box. 2-a-days for the Tropics indoor side starting Monday with a couple hours of morning conditioning work and then evening practices at the arena, which is a nice relief for the guys because last year a lot of fans may not realize that the indoor team that won the Eastern Conference Championship actually did all their training, virtually all their training in Orlando, which meant that every day that they trained was basically a full work day for every player on the team, with literally a 3 or 4 hours worth of travel time, and you figure in the practice time and showering and all of that. It was easily a 7-8 hour day every day for many of the guys during the week. So that 18-3 record did not come by accident last season, and they will be training diligently twice a day again, and fortunately being able to do that in Lakeland this year. Corey Mills, after Monolaris, made a nice run. Left side to Teixeira, and that's just a step or two ahead of Teixeira, so be a throw in here for Sarasota. And Victor Pereira's night is done, as Wendell Albuquerque will come into the game, and Ricardo Carvalho's night is over as well, as Antonio Manfoot will sub in for Carvalho. The tall and the short of it. So two of the Tropics indoor MASL stars who both were inches away from the score sheet tonight. Pereira's had a goal waved off 5 minutes into the first half, and Carvalho's had several good chances, none better than 2 minutes into the second half when he hit the post and then got the rebound and had his rebound attempt taken right off the line by a St. Petersburg defender. So that's where we stand still. Just 1-0 the score. 64th minute here. Monolaris will be a free kick here for the Tropics. Albuquerque just into the game. Heard a couple of the St. Petersburg players talking about him before the match and about his speed. And one of that group of mini Tropics with 4 or 5 goals this season, with a extremely spread out offensive attack with I think it's about 6 or 7 guys with either 4 or 5 goals this year. Nobody with more than 5. And a bunch with 4 as well. So here's one of them, Corey Mills. Gets it ahead for Teixeira, who catches up with it. Teixeira, 1-on-1 to the right side of the box here. Knocked over the sideline, throw in for Teixeira. And a fairly wide open Mills. Leaves it off to Boateng, right over to Arias now. See if Boateng can push forward. Doesn't. Didn't give a great ball to Ivo Diaz. He'll have to retreat a little bit. Now here's Pedro in a momentary save, but a giveaway. Aztecs really don't have numbers here, though, and Monolaris is able to do a good job and step up. Boateng with it. The Mills. Right side to Teixeira. Look out here. Teixeira with a shot. That was a pretty effort. New to the Tropics this year, and he has made a very positive impression. He's in that 4 and 5 goal club as well. And that was a sneaky good effort. '67th minute now coming up. Still 1-0 Florida. Goal in the 27th minute by Trey Hano on the header near post. Nice corner effort by Victor Carreras, and Trajano just able to get a piece of it to redirect. One more substitute coming in as Corey Mills' night is done. It's Roque Villegas who is in, and he is new to the roster. At least here at Lake Myrtle. He wears number 19. Throw in here for St. Pete. Read back to Silva now. Arias takes that pass from Monalaris to Shera. Can control. Boateng trying to settle it down. Shera finally gets it over to Villegas. Ball not able to find its way all the way down to Antonio Manfoot. Throw in coming up here for the Aztecs. We had one really good flurry not that long after Carvalho's double miss. Silva made a good save a couple of minutes after that as well. Monalaris calmly steps in front of that pass. Push forward for the Aztecs, but not a difficult save there for Silva. Well positioned on the effort from a good 20 yards out. In ball called. Counter opportunity here for St. Pete. 71st minute. Tropics still trying to cling to a 1-0 lead, and Arias going to be called for the hard foul there. And this will be a dangerous spot for a restart. It's Kyle Carr that took the brunt of that tackle, so three-man wall for the Tropics and in front, but I think it was Pedro Ivo Diaz right there to make sure there was nothing untoward going to happen. Numbers opportunity here for the Tropics, 3-on-2. Left side to Manfoot. Manfoot pushing forward, trying to get it through back to one of his teammates there, and couldn't find Villegas, and that opportunity is by the boards. Albuquerque gonna chase. Pope with a turn, but Monaleras will come out of there with it, as he often does. Ahead of the field for Antonio Manfoot. Manfoot coming in on goal, shot, and that one goes wide. Had a clear look and couldn't sneak it inside the far post. Best chance for the Tropics in a while. They would love to get that second one and give themselves a little cushion here. About 17 minutes of regulation time left, and similar to the first half, unless we have something unusual happen, it wouldn't appear that we are headed for a lot of stoppage time. So if something's going to happen, it may need to come pretty much in regulation. And we'll sail harmlessly over the end line. Trajano from Pararas, the only line on the score sheet that's filled so far. Coming in the 27th minute on a corner kick, and that's been it. Pararas also had one taken off the board in the first half. Ricardo Carvalho hitting a goalpost, and seconds later having one taken off the line by a Aztec defender, and that's been as close as the Tropics have come to getting that second goal. Manfoot just a minute ago with a great opportunity, a half step ahead of the field, but unable to convert. And Teixeira with a pretty sneaky effort as well, but knew this would be a good contest tonight. St. Petersburg, as we said, traditionally through the years has been one of the better, certainly a top echelon team in whatever division UPSL puts them in. And this year they're in with the Tropics, and it'll be another tough rematch Thursday in St. Petersburg. In case you did not know, these two teams will tangle again in about 6 days. That coming up is a makeup game from a canceled game in early November. Melvin Boateng with it. Villegas taken down, whistle on a foul. Ivo Diaz was looking, I think, for Albuquerque there, but kind of split the difference between Wendell and Antonio Manfoot, and neither could get there. Teixeira with a little pressure. Many thanks once again to our great sponsors of Tropics Soccer. Couldn't do it without them. Starting first and foremost with all our great friends at the Bond Clinic. Just opening their Lakeland campus, 4 or 5 months ago now? Walk-in clinic there, pediatrics, general. Going to be a sports rehab and physical therapy location soon as well. Boateng with a nice run. Melvin, see if he can tee it up. Tried to get it over perhaps to Manfoot and had it knocked away, but good run by Melvin. Bond Clinic in their 5th season, the only presenting title sponsor the Tropics have ever known. And also a special shout out to the good folks at Devoted Health, sponsoring tonight's Christmas at the Tropics event. Check out their Medicare Advantage plans at devoted.com, and that's all they do. They are specialists in Medicare Advantage plans. DevotedHealth.com is where you get the information. And many other great local businesses as well, like Rock and Bouncy's, CPS Investment Advisors, the Wing House Bar and Grill, Southern Homes, Residential Roofing Depot, Brooks Law Group, Dixie Signs, United Refrigeration and Air Conditioning on Wrecker Highway. Have them out to my home twice a year. Tremendous service. Ink Screen Printing, Teriyaki Madness, and Stumpy's Marketing Group. All part of the Tropics family here in the fall of 2020. And the uniform supplier once again is Capelli Sports. Check out all the great Tropics gear at their website. Really reasonably priced. Got a local soccer fan on your gift list for the Christmas season. Be a great chance to get some Tropics gear from Capelli. Ball is on the right wing here to Arias. Waiting for a little help. Gets it to Teixeira. Ball through to Villegas. Takes a whack at it from distance. Blocked, and Pedro Diaz will keep it alive, but then will whistle on the foul apparently. 11 minutes left here in regulation. And again, thinking that we're not going to get a lot of stoppage time. So the Aztecs, if they can find an equalizer, may need to do it in the next 11 or 12 minutes. The Tropics unable to get that insurance marker here, at least so far. Of course, the game winner last week for Dragon City against the Tropics came in the 81st minute on a penalty kick. We're heading towards the 80th minute right now. Tough way to lose it. Boateng with a nice ball to Albuquerque. Leaves it for Villegas. And now Diaz. Diaz gets it back a second time. Through ball, tried to get Villegas on a run, and that did not happen. One of the St. Petersburg players with a cramping issue out there. Not a night that you would expect to see that. Temperature probably now Gonna guess maybe lower 60s. Where's Paul Delgado when you need him? But a very comfortable evening. By far the nicest weather the Tropics have played in here at Lake Myrtle this year. They have played in a couple of rainstorms. Had one game that was rained out after 20 scoreless minutes. But no weather issues at all here tonight. Still air, cool air, and just a really nice evening to play or watch. Otang almost sent man foot in again. Careful here. Trajano able to get it back to Silva just in the nick of time. Well, Trajano's header may hold up. Who knows? Not the most likely person to get the goal. If you had Trajano in the Tropics scoring pool, you might get a pretty nice payoff, because he would have been probably about 9th or 10th on the list, moving up from his defensive position to get the header on the corner. Antonio Manfoot tries to find some space to operate, runs into traffic over there, and Albuquerque can't believe that there was no whistle. We said keep an eye on FLTropics.com for a couple of important scheduling releases, including the January MASL schedule. Tropics will be opening their 5th season of arena play. There's a chance and Silva going to come out and do a nice job to just get to that one in time. Injured player out there now for Florida. Don't know if that's Wendell or can't quite catch a number there. And the other bit of scheduling information would be the Tropics outdoor side and what may happen in terms of their playoff possibilities. I think that's the Tropics trainer Gene Estep out there to take a look. This will definitely add some stoppage time. Pretty sure it's Albuquerque that's no, it's not Albuquerque because he's going to come in and check now. Maybe it's Villegas? I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. It's a left knee or leg type situation. Going to get to his feet and be helped off here, and that's never good. That's not Villegas either, because I just saw him. I think it's Trajano, the goal scorer. So it is Trajano, number 4. He's putting a little bit of weight on it as he heads to the bench, with help though, so We wish for the best for Trujano. Heading towards the 87th minute, but it will obviously, as we said, add a little stoppage time. Really the only injury we've had tonight. Here's the ball ahead to Melvin Boateng. Boateng. And you work towards the middle of the box. Gets it to Albuquerque. Villegas gets it to Wendell. Teixeira with it. Teixeira one-on-one in box. Takes a shot, and again, another good save. Blocked in there by Arias that time. Now, Martin Kaganaloff has been the man of the match here for St. Petersburg. He's had at least a half a dozen really fine saves, including that one right there. And has kept his team very much in this match. Chance in front, and that's headed over the end line by one of the Aztec players. Who's had a good piece of it, but he's not all that close to goal. So the Tropics can kill a minute or two here, perhaps. Teixeira going to try and track it down here. Teixeira gets there in time, and it is a goal! Good hustle by Alexandre Teixeira. And that's the insurance marker that the Tropics have been looking for all second half. Little miscommunication in there between Gaganilov and his defender. Armin Babic. And that was a critical miscue. Any chance that the Aztecs may have had to come back and at least get a draw may have just gone by the boards with that. Good hustle, though, by Teixeira. And that comes in the 89th minute. Now the question is, can Hugo Silva get his second shutout in 3 games? The chance through the box, and that one goes just wide. Be a corner kick coming up here for St. Petersburg. On its way into the box, and Silva gets a piece of it. It's still loose in there, and it's in the back of the net. How big does the Teixeira goal look now? Bad scramble in front in the 90th minute. And the Aztecs have made it a 2-1 game now. Silva had it, looked like, got his hands on it maybe for just a brief second, but all kinds of traffic there in front. Couldn't tell you which Aztecs player actually will get credit for that one. There was a group of 5 or 6 of them all mosh pitting there. And one of them was able to get it through the defense and through his own teammates to make it a 2-1 game now. We are in stoppage time. And I'm going to guess, as I said, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So indeed time for the Aztecs to come back with an equalizer. Offside is going to be the call. Manfoot was offsides by a good 2 or 3 strides there. Yeah. Thank you. Now a chance for the Aztecs here to send one in front of the Tropics goal, but Melvin Boateng steps up with a header there. Teixeira going to try and turn on the Jets. Nice defensive play. And again, Teixeira's hustle will at least keep possession of the ball here for the Tropics. Into Melvin. Nice sneaky little move there to Boateng, but the play was offside. So he's getting a little heated here on this cool night in Auburndale as the Aztecs suddenly with life after giving up that goal in the 89th minute. Come back with one and just a couple of minutes later to cut the deficit. Arias on the marking here. That's a good job. It'll be a throw in here for the Tropics, and Pablo will do the honors. Referee just hold up one finger. I don't know if he means one more minute left of stoppage time or he was testing the wind direction. Not really sure. No wind, so maybe just a minute left here. Would be about right as Manfoot couldn't get forward with it. Teixeira tries to send Antonio through and couldn't do it. Ivo Diaz sends it back the other way, but only briefly. Aztecs with maybe one last push forward here. When Alaris comes out, Pope will pick it up. Chance now at the top of the box. Pope will send it wide, and it'll be a goal kick. And that is it. Time is out, and the Tropics have won their 7th of the year. As we said, just one last push forward for the Aztecs, and it was wide by a couple of feet to the right, and the Tropics come home winners once more, winning it by a final score of 2-1 to improve to 7-2-0 on the season, still in second place behind the Aztecs, and St. Petersburg won't have to wait long for the rematch. They will play again Thursday night in St. Petersburg in a makeup game from a game canceled November 7th. So the Tropics win it by a final score tonight of 2-1. The goal scorers, Alexandre Teixeira with the winner in the 89th minute, and Trajano, who was injured in the second half, gets the Tropics on the board in the first 45 minutes on a corner kick from Victor Pereira, and that is how it ends, 2-1 Tropics. So, next up, St. Petersburg Thursday, Sporting Tampa Bay on December 19th, and then the postseason for the outdoor Tropics. And on the indoor side, the MASL will kick off its 2020-21 season in early January. The Tropics will be playing, and they will be at home at the RP Funding Center, where fans will be allowed to attend. So getting the latest information at fltropics.com, and we hope to see you out at the RP Funding Center this year as the Tropics try and finish their unfinished business after winning an Eastern Conference championship last year, but not having a chance to advance in the playoffs. They hope to take it all the way this year, and we'll see how that all unfolds. So until next time, we hope you are the Tropics 2, the Aztecs of St. Petersburg 1. Have a great week, everybody.
Oh my God.